Okay, so this is video number 4. Um, so that's what God showed me was the whole thing with the kids being wooed in, and that really was. I mean, I remember I was just like kind of crushed. I was like, man, that is so good, Lord, I love it, and was getting teary or whatever. So anyway, here about say 2 or 3 months ago. And God does give me a lot of stuff during praise and worship, so that's cool. Um, but so we were at church here at New Life in Bismarck, where we've lived now for about a year and a half. And the Lord gave me a vision. And it's weird because He'll lots of times show me things. Almost all of the stuff that He shows me is something in relation to football or something with the military. And I don't know why, if just because those are things that I'm kind of naturally drawn to. Um, but anyway, so we're standing there. I got my hands raised. I'm praying in tongues under my breath, like I kind of usually do during praise and worship. And he shows me a vision. And all I see at first is just kind of odd, is it looks like a giant capsule, like almost one of those elevators, glass elevators that's on the outside of big buildings. That's just a glass capsule type of thing. But I can't see anything. All I can see is this big capsule dangling by a string or a line or whatever. And all I can see is that it's black. And it's completely white all the way around, like blinding white. It's like super bright white. If you went out, during going skiing or something, when it's super sunny out and it's like, ooh, you get a headache. It's so bright. That's how the whole surrounding of this was. And as I'm looking at it, as I'm kind of observing it, it's like, it's not black. It's covered with a whole bunch of very black, almost looks like coal, little chunks, like thousands of them are just almost like fish scales all the way around this thing. It's just completely encapsulated. Next thing you know, I'm actually inside the capsule and I can't see out. It's completely black. And it's like disorientingly black. You don't know up from down. It's like, whoa. And so I think he just kind of gave me a vision of that so I could see kind of the contrast between the one and the other. So then I go back to the outside. I'm looking at it. I'm observing it. And just, there's no words spoken. There's no nothing. And as I'm watching this, suddenly all the black stuff just falls off. Absolutely no residue, no dust on the glass or anything. So now being inside of the capsule, I'm able to look out and it's just like being outside. It's completely clear. There's none of that black residue at all. And so again, I have these visions and they're like, Lord, what in the world are you trying to show me? So anyway, I'm praying about it like I always do. And he ends up telling me, so basically what that black stuff was, even though it looked like coal, it would have been about the equivalent of something ferrous, something metal, and that capsule was, for all practical purposes, like an electromagnet. And the second you kick off the switch on that thing and there's no power holding it there, it just falls. And I was like, oh, okay, interesting, cool. And I'm like, so what does that mean? What's the significance of that? So what he was showing me is that, and again, this is just a couple months before Asbury, so I'm like, okay, the timing of this is relevant for something. That when the Holy Spirit, let me do this a little different. Okay, so all of those pieces, the thousands of little chunks hanging on there, are different aspects of the religious spirit. And people think, oh, the religious spirit's one thing, it's two things, maybe, 3 or 4, whatever. No, there's literally, according to this thing, thousands of different aspects of the religious spirit. And when you come into relationship with the Holy Spirit, those go away right now. I see that this is getting kind of long again. I'm going to pause and then I'll elaborate on this.